Well, she is young and she's getting things done. Rhonesha Byng became the founder and CEO of her own company, Her Agenda, before turning 30. And now she's passing her success along to other women with the help of an acronym, NESHA, No One Ever Slows Her Agenda. That's the acronym. Rhonesha's here with me now. Talk about that. It's from your name, right? Rhonesha.
It is.
What does it mean and what's it trying to impart?
Well, the acronym means whatever your goal is, go for it and don't let anyone or anything stop you. And I came up with it at just 16 years old because I started my career in journalism as a New York City public school, high school student, and taking a journalism class, it really set off a spark and I found my passion and my purpose. And I was told no a lot. And despite the no's, I still wanted to keep going. And so I then created this acronym because my nickname is Nesha, and a lot of people couldn't remember my name. Rhonesha is not a common name. And so it helped people to remember me, and it evolved into this brand and now the motto of my company.
Yeah, it's a clever use of the name. So what does Her Agenda do? You have the site, there's advice for women, things like that.
Yeah.
What's the company?
Well, our goal is to bridge the gap between ambition and achievement for millennial women. And I started it because there was a need. When I started it in 2008, the term women empowerment was not an everyday term. You did not hear that phrase. And there were a lack of women in positions of power and a lack of women in media. And I really believe that you can't be what you can't see. And so that's why I really work to tell the stories of powerful, ambitious women on the site. Every day we feature a woman who has overcome the odds in some way and use her story as an example to show if she can do it, you can do it too.
Yeah, you're using some of that journalism. You're doing interviews and telling people's career stories throughout the site, right?
Exactly.
So what are you hearing from women? What are you seeing that resonates with them and what they're learning?
So I'm seeing a lot of people being inspired by the stories, but what's more important is that they are actively using the resources. I wanted to create a platform that didn't just inspire people, but also showed them where they could go. A lot of people say you need to be in the room, you need to be at the table, but how can you be at the table if you don't know the room exists? So we have a database of panels and conferences and different things that you can do to get your foot in the door and build your network. And a lot of the things that I'm hearing is just needing more mentorship, needing more advice about negotiation and how to ask for what you really want without getting that pushback. Because when it comes to men and women in the workplace, women often get pushback and they get punished for asking for what they deserve. And we're working to change that narrative.
Talking about building your network, I mean, pick a list, you're on it. Forbes 30 under 30, 50 founders to watch from Essence, 29 people to know by BET. Why do you think what you're doing is resonating so much?
I think it comes down to really just telling your story. And so for me, I found my passion and purpose very young, but I always told my story. And I think when you tell your story, the more you tell your story, the more people can hold you accountable and the more your community is invested in your story. And so that's some advice that I would give to people is just don't hide your ambition, don't hide your goals. And it's very scary because, you know, once you say you want to do something, then you have to actually do it, right?
Right.
It's scary, but I think telling my story was the key to unlocking all these opportunities, all these lists, and for me to get to where I am now.
So what is the goal? You started the company. Where do you hope to take it in the next 5, 10, 100 years?
Well, hopefully to be a household name and to be everywhere. And we're a media company, so we want to be on TV. We want to have a podcast network, have a magazine, because media really sets the tone in terms of how people see themselves, but also how the world sees them. And we need to reframe how ambitious and powerful women are seen in today's society so that we can create more ambitious and powerful women. I started this site because when I was 16, I thought women ran the world. I had so many mentors. Then I got to college and realized that less than 5% of women run Fortune 500 companies, which shocked me. And so I knew that the media could play a big role in shifting that narrative and creating more women leaders. And
you're working to change that. Quickly, the website, if people want to find out more?
Heragenda.com.
Heragenda.com. Rhonesha Byng, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.